Hello everyone, my name is Sanne Weber. I'm a research fellow in IDD and I will tell you a little bit about my research. I'm interested in understanding how conflicts affect gender relations and how post-conflict mechanisms can transform gender inequality. A lot of my research has been taking place in Colombia over the last couple of years, especially in two small-scale communities of cattle farmers in the Caribbean coast. And these communities were displaced by paramilitary groups for 10 years. And since their return in 2007, these communities have been trying to get back to their land or trying to receive their land titles back, including through a land restitution and reparation process sponsored by the Colombian state. And I've been studying that program. Now, gender played quite an important role in this and in displacement. So before displacement, gender relations were very traditional in these communities. Men were really seen as the heads of household, the breadwinners, and women were really limited to household tasks. This changed quite a lot during displacement because men's agricultural skills were quite useless in the cities where people displaced to. And so women took up new roles to generate the income that guaranteed the survival for their families. So this was quite an emancipatory experience for many women, although it was also hard because it produced a double burden for them, because they had to take care of their families and also generate income. So when they returned 10 years later, and as happened in many other conflict situations around the world, return also meant a return to pre-conflict gender roles in which men were the breadwinners and the heads of household, and women were basically limited again to the household tasks that are much less valued. Now, development plays quite a lot a big role in this as well, because these communities basically lack all basic social and infrastructural services. So there is no running water, there's no drinking water, there's also no electricity. So, and women cook on wood fire, for example. So all their household tasks that women have to perform become very time and labor intensive and also very physically demanding. So women in these communities really describe their situation as being slaves of the household. So this really shows how post-conflict mechanisms like land restitution and reparations in Colombia should also make sure that there are the minimum basic social and infrastructural service necessary so that both men and women can be involved in different spheres of life and not just the household as women's case. And instead, what you see in Colombia is that the program in fact reinforces gender relations. So the projects, the land restitution and reparation program really only addresses men because they are seen as those mainly responsible for cattle farming, and the women really feel left unaddressed basically. And after a couple of years, some NGOs started implementing some projects here, but also those were quite stereotypical in terms of gender. So women were given projects to raise chickens or to start a tailoring workshop, but these were really unsustainable financially. So they didn't really help much to give women a new position or a stronger role as socio-economic actors. So lessons here are that in a post-conflict situation, development and basic services are important to make sure that women actually have the time and space to be involved in other spheres rather than the household. And this requires also engaging men because as I explained before, in a conflict, gender relations often change, and it's a lost opportunity to then let them return to normal. Whereas this could also be a time to really shake up gender relations and to start involving men in different tasks, including those in the household. So in Colombia, this was unfortunately not the case, but this could be lessons for other situations in the future. So this is in a nutshell some of the things I deal with in my research and in which I also sometimes teach about or accompany students in their dissertation work. So I hope it was interesting to you, and we really look forward to seeing you in IDD next year.